Hello YouTube and welcome to New Obsidian Duel Academy. I am your host, Lady Cerisa, and class is now in session. Today we are talking about something that's never been done before and shouldn't even work, but it surprisingly kinda does. Not the greatest way to play it, but it was definitely fun to go around. Would I take this into a locals? Yeah, I certainly would. Will I win a lot of games? No, but it's still going to be funny to watch. Especially since one part of this aspect hurts another aspect of this deck, and if you want to actually use that aspect, you have to hurt the other side of the aspect to actually utilize the deck to its full potential. It's kind of funny to play around with, but not fully ideal to use. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about what we're actually playing. We are discussing Gravekeepers, Dogmatica, DPE, or Destroyer, Phoenix, Enforcer. Yeah, we're utilizing the same old combo that a lot of decks are using, except we're not utilizing Artifact Scythe in this one. So let's go ahead and get into the deck list so that we can know what we're talking about. So, our first card in this is Dogmatica Flodorless the Knighted. Yeah, we don't really search this. Ironically, we don't search this and we should search this. But the way the deck plays is not actually turning up as much as it should. As well as Dogmatica Masculinus. It's very important, but if it's in our hand, we're using it. But if it's not, we're kind of done. One copy of Destiny Hero Dashu, which is kind of important. Playset of Gravekeepers Commandant. This card is really important to search out your Necro Valley. One copy of Destiny Hero Celestial. One copy of Gravekeeper Spiritualist. You only really use this like once in a blue moon. It's not one card, win all games type card, so it's in there for fusion, but other than that, it's not really important. A playset of Dogmatica Ecclesia the Virtuous. This card's kind of important. You can use it as an extender without the search and not lock yourself out of your extra deck, or you can use it as the extender to search. A playset of Gravekeepers Recruiter. This card is actually our dedicated normal summon to basically get our Necro Valley in our hand a lot quicker, or another Gravekeeper monster in our hand in order to do other combos, such as a one of Gravekeeper's Headman. This card's actually kind of important when we want to, get monsters back from the graveyard, especially when Necro Valley's on the board. A playset of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring for one of our hand traps, as well as 2 copies of Effect Veiler, pretty standard. That is 20 monsters in the deck. Next we have 16 spells. We have 1 copy of Instant Fusion, 2 copies of Nadir Servant because it's semi-limited now, a playset of Necro Valley Throne to search out our Recruiter or our Commandant, or to have an extra normal summon. Usually just a search. 1 copy of Fusion Destiny. Most people will sit there and say 2, but I find only having 1 copy is still fine because you're only going with 1 DPE and you don't necessarily need to see it in your hand. A playset of Ready Fusion. It's going to make sense later. 1 copy of Terraforming. 2 copies of Pot of Prosperity. Yeah, you kind of don't actually go into your extra deck that often, and there's a lot of cards that you can probably lose and be okay, or not have to worry about as much. And you can use this to actually get into your combo pieces a little bit quicker. A playset of Necro Valley. This is our bread and butter to make sure our opponent can't use their graveyard effects, aka Drytron. A playset of Infinite Impermanence, and then finally our Shadal Schism. Yes, I have this card in here. It makes some sense. Go with it. In our extra deck, we actually have 1 Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, as we mentioned before, 1 copy of Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon, 1 copy of Gravekeepers Supernaturalist. We kind of go in this every now and then. 1 copy of El Shadal Ap Cologne, 1 copy of Sea Monster of Thesis. This is actually our ready fusion target and our main instant fusion target. That's why it's in here. That's why it shows up. Then we also have 1 copy of El Shadal Winda, 1 copy of Elder Intanina Tis. For our Link monsters, because that's all for the fusion, so we don't have any synchros, no XCs, just Links. We have 1 copy of Access Code Talker. There is a combo that utilizes this part. 1 Celine, Queen of the Master of Magicians, who is literally kind of important way because there's a lot of spellcasters. 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix because back row hate. 1 copy of Dark the Dark Charmer Gloomy. 1 copy of Lina the Light Charmer Lustrous. 1 Crystal Halkiverbrack for a combo. 1 copy of Predaplant Verde Anaconda, and then lastly, 1 Magus' Maiden, Artemis the Magus' Moon Maiden. This card is actually important for our Gravekeepers Recruiter because we want to get a Recruiter into our graveyard to get our Necro Valley to our hand. And for our side, we have a playset of Nibiru, the Primal Being, a playset of Artifact Lancia, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, a playset of Dark Ruler No More, 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, 2 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison, and finally, 1 Red Bee Boot! So, to make some sense of this, DPE kind of destroys your Necro Valley at either at the end of the turn or during your opponent's combos to slow them down if they aren't able to do stuff, if they get their stuff in the graveyard and they can't really activate at those times and you think they're kind of stuck, and then you can actually add a little bit additional hurt with the Necro Valley being popped. It doesn't really hurt you on that point. However, if they do have extra graveyard effects that can activate at any time, rather than just being sent there and then just like sending more or special summoning from the graveyard, then you're kind of screwed. But it's kind of okay because our Shadal Schism can actually turn around and back that entire thing up after Necro Valley is already popped. So it's kind of like how you play the deck that makes it work. It's very confusing and it's not beginner level friendly, so I would not suggest this for anyone that's starting off Yu-Gi-Oh! So let's go ahead and go into the replays to make some more sense of it. Alright, so we have actually only 2 replays. I forgot to get a 3rd one. That was my fault. But we currently only have 2 replays. One that's this one where I'm going up against Grom. I do lose this one. It was a tough fight. It was a tough fight, but I do believe I lost that one. And then this one is one that I think I lost or won. The deck was weird, and you'll find out why here soon. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with going against a little bit more competitive build that Grom has created using a archetype that's not really known in the competitive field, and that will be Gunkin Shoeship. They are the ones that starting off first. They actually activate Painful Decision, sending Rice Shoeship, and then whoa shit, whoo, hold on, pause, whoo, slow down. Okay, so they get Gunkin Shoeship Korra, and then Gunkin Shoeship Shari. Okay, I hate that the EDO Pro actually keeps like the old name on there and not the new name on there, so like it's really hard to pay attention at the same time. But anyways, they actually get the class carrier out on the board, get an effect, set 3 pass. It's kind of scary for me. We have a questionable hand that's our right hand. They actually activate the daily specials. We get our Thesis, Mobile Summon Command It, get Halkiverbrack, start up, trying to play through stuff to see what they have, actually activate DPE, not liking where all this is going. I'm going to regret my life decisions by the end of this. Promise you that. Activate their second command and get Necro Valley, and then go to turn 2. I did not set Shadal Schism because I didn't have any Shadal cards in the grave anyways. Activate Necro Valley, DPE, popping next on the monster, regretting my life choices, realizing I should probably left the Necro Valley anyways, watching them make their plays, and me going, well, this is happening now. And they take my own monster and affect me with it. So yeah, only 100 life points remaining, and me wishing that all of a sudden that I was never born. And they go ahead and get the Zeus out, and I'm over here going, well, I'm gonna go ahead and try to activate Destroyer and Enforcer and just wish, activating, trying to, like, you know, get them to activate Zeus with all these weird little combos, and realizing, well, this is not happening for me. And then they go ahead and say, nah, we're just gonna keep going. And they have the Zeus. I actually try to pop it up and then wish that I had more plays. Getting the Dir Servant, Titanclad, pass. I'm pretty sure, again, I think I lose this one. For whatever reason, I didn't activate Shadal's Schism right away. Oh no, I did win this one with 100 life points. They turned around and said, yeah, no, Winda's too strong. So, I forgot that I won that one. Whoopsies. So, next up, we have Gravekeeper Dogmatica DPE versus Wincon the deck. I say it's Wincon the deck because Absol Assassin decided, hey, I'm going to be weird today on today's stream, or when this stream happened, when I grabbed this, and give everything Wincon there is, as well as Penguin Soldier, because I believe merch is in bio. We have Quick Summon the Penguin Soldier from the Steam shop, or the Twitch shop, Streamlabs shop. Yeah. So now we actually establish our board here. We can't special summon Ecclesia because reasonable reasons. They pop our thing. We didn't really react much. So Necro Valley is kind of a, yay, we get to have some fun stuff. Then they start attacking us directly, and we're over here going, oh, great. And then you get one free extra summon. Activate that. And here is me dead. I activate this, thinking that everything's fine and dandy. Activate Servant, Dogmatica, thinking that I know what I'm doing here, and not realizing that when the effect actually activates, the effect is activating from the banish zone, so I could not negate it with for Flordurlius. So that is unfortunate for me. Moving on. So again, like unfortunately I've said, there's only the 2 replays, but thank you for coming. If you want to be part of these videos, or at least try dueling me, be sure to join me on yugioh Pro, or on Twitch, where I stream on Monday and Wednesdays Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, technically Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, but I do deck reviews for those who redeem those points on Fridays, and then I just do usual stuff. But we do Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! On Mondays and GOAT format Yu-Gi-Oh! On Wednesdays. So if you want to be part of that, come hit me up. And as always, see you in the next video. Bye-bye!